Hello. It's been a long time. I haven't done a video in a long time, and that's my fault. But we just kind of wanted to give you guys an update. I am doing, I think, pretty great. I have been now, I think, maybe close to 80 days, I think, since my surgery. And I've actually lost about 90 pounds, which is crazy. So it's like more than a pound a day, which is awesome. It's been such a long road, but a good one. It gets better every single day. So I'm just gonna say that, you know, when we first started out, Nick and I, because we both had surgery, both had the Duedonal Switch with Dr. Bovard with North Carolina Bariatrics, and we had it at Rex. When we first did it, it was so hard. I was doing videos, a couple of them, and, you know, kind of sharing with you guys what's going on, but in the beginning was really, really hard. It was, you know, at times it got depressive, and you couldn't eat what you wanted to eat, and but, you know, it was all mental. All of it was mental. And now it's very, it's starting to become a little physical, because, and mental and physical, but you don't really have the cravings anymore of wanting to eat things. At least I don't. Nick may, but I don't think he does. I think we both kind of are at the time where, I mean, sometimes we just don't even want to eat, like, either because there's something going on in our stomach, or we're just not hungry, or you're always looking to find the right thing. So that's kind of frustrating sometimes, but for me, the things that I eat on a daily basis is Premier Protein. I drink those shakes every morning, and that's my 30 grams of protein. I'm supposed to get 80 to 100 grams of protein a day, and I almost get 70 grams of protein before 10 o'clock in the morning. And the way that I do that is I will have a Premier Protein shake. I pour that over ice. It's really good. I kind of sip on that on my way to school, dropping Elliot off, or, you know, dropping Abraham off. And that's my 30 grams of protein. And then after that, about an hour later, that's probably not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to wait like 3 hours, but I don't know why I get a little hungry after that. But maybe an hour and a half later, I'll have a Premier Protein bar, which is another 30 grams of protein. There's a lot of carbohydrates in it, but it hasn't given me any problems, so I'm going to continue with that. So together that would be 60 grams plus. Later on, because I get up pretty early, later on I would maybe have like string cheese or something. Those seem to be like the only things that I can 100% tolerate. String cheese, Premier Protein shakes, and protein bars. The other little things that you kind of find is that I seem to be having a hard time finding just the right thing as far as snacks go. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I got my breakfast covered. Lunch, seems like I always have like some sort of like spinach with, like some sort of salad with spinach, with like turkey on it, or tuna, something like that. I generally have that almost every single day for lunch. And dinner changes. So last night I had salmon. One night we had chili. So there were things that we could have and that I made, you know, and that were really good. I definitely miss things like spaghetti. Those of you that know me know I love spaghetti. But I miss spaghetti really bad. But we've been doing things like zucchini noodles, put meatballs on top of zucchini noodles. That was pretty tasty, but it's not the same. It's just like, let's get real. Like, zucchini noodles are good to a point, and then, but when you start having them like every other day, it's like, I don't know about all that. But let's see what else. I've been eating a lot of like cashews and nuts, almonds, you know, making sure I take my vitamins every single day. That is not a struggle. I thought I was going to struggle with remembering to do that, or always, you know, just remembering to do that. So what we do is we have to take 2 vitamins a day, and they're chewables, and they're ginormous. They're big. I'll have to show you here in a minute when I stop, but they're kind of big. Anyways, you have 2 of those. So I have those every morning, and then you also have to have 4 calcium chews, which those 4 calcium chews, they're not bad. They basically taste like Starburst. The strawberry ones taste like Starburst. So I have that. Let's see, what else? I honestly have not worked out yet. That is something I really am meaning to do, but I haven't done yet. And I'm really ready to do. As far as me, like, physically, I'm gonna say my arthritis is a little better. It was doing really good for a little while, but there's things happening in my body that I was not expecting, that they're telling me that my uric level acid is really high. I think that's what it's called, which happens to people that have had bariatric surgery, where basically their uric level acids are incredibly high because of the amount of protein. And what happens is it creates it puts like crystals or something into your system, into your joints, which is called gout, which is the strangest name I've ever heard in my life, but that's what it's called. And it sounds like something that someone over 80 years old would have, but I apparently have it in my elbows and my wrist and knees and stuff like that, which is like incredibly painful arthritis type of feeling. And you can also get it from eating a lot of shellfish. And I tell you what, we've eaten a lot of shrimp because I feel like I can eat that really well. But so there's some things that you can do. You can take medicine for it. I'm not taking that yet because it's not too high, but I may have to start doing that. Let's see. You basically kind of go on a little diet of like not eating shellfish and some other things. But so that's something I'm kind of watching out for. It can also develop kidney stones, but I don't have any of those. But I'm like being careful for it. What else? I feel physically lighter because I am, which is great. Some of the most positive things that have come out of this surgery is literally being able to not think about, am I going to be able to fit in that chair when I go to places? I mean, people never knew that. Like, I never talked about that with people, but, you know, as a bigger person, someone that was close to almost 400 pounds, I would walk into places thinking, if I have to sit down, which chair is going to be best for me to sit down so that I'm not incredibly uncomfortable or self-conscious, I guess. I don't have to worry about that anymore, which is insane. That is something that I feel like I just don't think about anymore, which is awesome. I sit in chairs comfortably, you know, not with like my thighs touching the sides and spilling over, and, you know, and it's just, that is a really good feeling. It's a really awesome feeling. There are some things that I think have pushed me, how can I say this? I've been probably within the last 10 years, I have definitely been close to God. But I would say throughout this process, it has pushed me even closer, which is something that is interesting to me.